blockbuster deal today, Rams fans. The Los Angeles Rams have made a massive trade for Chiefs corner Trent McDuffie, a former All-Pro at the corner position, is joining your Los Angeles Rams today in exchange for what I will acknowledge is a haul of draft picks. But this is massive news, and I think a massive win for your Los Angeles Rams. Something that Les Snead hinted at yesterday in his press conference. Didn't even really hint, to be honest with you. Straight up said, I want to add an all-pro player to the secondary. The very next day, the man goes out and does it. And let's show these trade details, because the F them picks Rams are back in full force. And if you didn't believe it now. This is your evidence of it. Giving up a first-round draft pick in 2026. One of the two that we had, our own, the 29th overall pick, now belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs, as do our picks in the 5th and 6th rounds, plus our 3rd-round draft pick in 2027. A lot going over, but a massive talent coming back. And we're going to talk about him a lot in today's show. But before we do, guys, this is why you subscribe. This is why you lock in with the Rams Report, because anytime Rams news happens, we break it down for you. And again, I hate to toot our own horn, but this is something that we have been on for a long time. We literally talked about it yesterday. This was yesterday's thumbnail, guys. Future Ram. Future Ram. He's a Ram today. A Ram today. And if you don't believe that, if you're like, well, everyone was on it yesterday, how about a month ago when I did our perfect offseason video talking about trading for Trent McDuffie? I have loved the idea of this for a very long time. I've thought it's made perfect sense for both sides in ways that I've laid out over and over again, in ways that we'll discuss today again. But what a move for the Rams, and what a reason to hit that subscribe button, because, my friends, we have been on this for a while, and we are covering it as it happens. This trade happened just over an hour ago, not even 2 hours ago, and we are already here filming a video. We had a short out on the channel already, but let's jump right into it. Field Yates posted this. This continues a pretty good tradition for the Rams of swapping their first round draft picks. 2017, that went to the Titans. 2018, or it's listed as 2021A, which is many, many years in the future, that one went to the Patriots. 2019, you swapped over to Atlanta. 2020, that went to the Jags for Jalen Ramsey. 2021 also went to the Jags for Jalen Ramsey. 2022 and 2023 were involved in the Stafford trade. 2024, the only time the Rams have cashed their own first-round draft pick in the last decade, pretty much since Jared Goff. Jared Verse comes in on that one. Traded to Falcons in 2025 in exchange for the first-round pick that we do have in this year's draft, which does originally belong to Atlanta, the 13th overall selection. And now in 2026, they trade their pick again to the Kansas City Chiefs. But I have no issue with this. Again, this is a great tradition, in my opinion, because the Rams in this move, as they did before with the Jalen Ramsey trade especially, which I think is a nice parallel for this, get exactly what they need. Trent McDuffie, an all-pro player in the secondary, is exactly what we've all been talking about for this Rams team, because we all know what cost us last season. Everybody does. You could point to Xavier Smith's muffed punt, but at the end of the day, the Rams had opportunities after that play that they couldn't make good on because the defense wasn't good enough. That's why Aubrey Pleasant's out of the building. That's why Aubrey Pleasant had to go as assistant head coach. I liked Aubrey too. I know Sean was a great friend of Aubrey Pleasant, but his work with the defensive backs wasn't good enough. And now Jimmy Lake is here. And you know who Jimmy Lake is very familiar with? Trent McDuffie. That's his college head coach. That is huge. That's a great connection there. And you know what else is true of Trent McDuffie? He's from here. He is from Los Angeles. He probably grew up a Rams fan. Well, maybe, probably not. Actually, he was probably growing up during the St. Louis era, now that I think about it. He's a little bit younger than I originally speculated. But there's a chance. Maybe he did. Maybe his parents were huge Rams fans. He actually said in an interview with KCTV not too long ago that if there was one other team he'd like to play for, it would have been us. He was talking to a bunch of kids at a charity event, and unprompted, basically, they just asked, like, hey, what other team in the NFL would you want to play for? The Los Angeles Rams. And now the two-time All-Pro gets the opportunity to do it, and it's huge. Look at the numbers from this guy. And this is coming off of one of his worst seasons, to be completely honest with you, because he was asked to do something that he doesn't normally do. He still made the Pro Bowl this season. He still played better than your average corner in the NFL. In fact, I think you could say he was a top 20 corner just statistically, but he was asked to play as a boundary corner when his primary role is in the nickel or the slot. We're going to get into that later on today's show, but first, guys, if you're fired up, if you're as stoked about this trade as I am, I need you to hit the like button on today's video. I need you to smash that thumbs up button and get this thing out to more Rams fans. Let more Rams fans be able to celebrate this great news and hear why Trent McDuffie is going to bring great things to this team, which we're going to get into right now. So here's his stats from the last 4 seasons, because again, like I said, I think he's coming off of one of the worst ones he's had in a little while. 63 tackles, 7 pass breakups. Last season, 59 tackles, 6 of which were for loss and 13 pass breakups, playing significantly more from the slot. So you can kind of see where that boosts his performance. I think he is truly the best slot corner in the NFL when he's allowed to play in that role in full. I think Kenny Moore gives him a little bit of a run for his money, but I think McDuffie is really good in that role. And I think that is the Rams' intended goal for him. We've talked about the idea of flipping the corner room, and I think McDuffie is now intended to be the anchor point at nickel. I think they want to continue to build around him, but the signs that that's the case, that he's going to be a long-term piece of this team and an anchor point of this defense, and especially of this secondary, are already there. We're already seeing reports that a mega deal for Trent McDuffie is coming right around the corner. So I want you guys to be prepared for that. We'll obviously cover that on the channel, so make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on, because I really don't think it's going to be very long at all. It might even happen today. We might have a 2-video day where we talk about the trade right now and we talk about the extension later today. If that's what happens, if that's what needs to be done, we will do it, because anytime there's Rams news, we make a video. But here's what you can expect from that deal. I think he's going to cross the Derek Stingley mark, but he might come up short of Sauce. I think they might slide him right in between those two guys. There's a chance he's short of Derek Stingley as well. Obviously, big name players like to reset the market. There is a good chance that Trent McDuffie and his agents push to do that, and given what you've given up in terms of draft capital to go out and get him, a massive haul, 1st, 5th, 6th, and an additional future 3rd, I don't think there's any way the Rams don't get a long-term deal done with him. So yes, there is a chance that after this is done, Trent McDuffie is at the number 1 position. He could clear Sauce Gardner, but if I'm the Rams, I'm really pushing to slot him in between the two, and this is where I'd want to slot him in on the depth chart. Mind you, Kobe Durant and Emmanuel Forbes are flexible pieces in this equation. We don't necessarily have great replacements for them right now, but I think we will, to play that boundary corner 1 and boundary corner 2 spots, and then you let Trent McDuffie play the nickel or the slot. That's, I think, his primary strength. And I know a lot of you are wondering, what happens to Quentin Lake, Captain Q, in this equation? And I think that's kind of the beauty of Quentin Lake as a player, right? I think this is one of the things he prides himself on most. One of the things he's so good at is being so versatile. I think there's a number of different roles that he could play, whether that's a strong safety style, a 2-high safety role with him and Cam Kinchins. I don't think Cam Curl comes back in this equation at the end of the day. That's why he's not listed here. I don't know if Kobe Durant does either. Maybe he shouldn't have been on the corner depth chart. But at the end of the day, I think Trent McDuffie's best role, what I would like to see him do in Los Angeles, because it's what he did best in Kansas City throughout his career, when they were winning Super Bowls, he was playing in the nickel. And that's, I think, another thing about this that we haven't even touched on. in adding Trent McDuffie, you are adding a guy who has been in these situations before so many times. He's already got 2 rings. He's been to 3 Super Bowls, dealt with the pain of losing a Super Bowl. Emotional maturity for him as a 25-year-old, game IQ from having been in these situations. There's so many invaluable things that you get about Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs corners praise him over and over again. Their young guys in the room relentlessly talk about what a leader he is, what a guiding force he is, a guiding presence, a teacher in their room. I'm so excited about the idea of adding him, especially because he's not going to be the only addition to this Rams corner room. I do think there might be some additions in the draft. We've still got a couple picks, but that leads me into my next point pretty well, which is, like I said off the top, if you don't already see it now, the F them pick strategy is back in full force. It absolutely is, guys. 100%. I think Sean McVay and Les Snead know what this year is. It might be the last shot with Matthew Stafford. As sad as that is, it might realistically be his final season and in the NFL entirely, or at the very least, his final season of MVP caliber play. You have to acknowledge that at his age. And so being as aggressive as you can be in the window that you have, which may only consist of 2026, is the goal. I think they're going back to what got them the Super Bowl in 2021, and I do not think they're done yet. That's the other part of this. There's, I think, another shoe waiting to drop in this equation. I don't know who it is. I don't know when it's coming, but I don't think they're done. I think the Rams want to be as aggressive as they can be, and they've got more ways to make trades. Whether that's a trade of Byron Young to save on future contracts and maximize what they can get out of him. Maybe they swap him for draft capital in this year's draft to continue to attack that. There's a number of different possibilities for this Rams team. And if they do make a move, we're on it. We're going to be covering it on the Rams Report by Chat Sports. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you lock in with us because you do not want to miss a moment. The Rams offseason is well underway. The F them picks Rams are back, and I cannot wait to see what Les and the boys in Inglewood cook up next. We'll be here when they do, and as always, let's go Rams.